Happy Friday to everyone, and thank you for being here. We have a little bit of a different program in store for us today. We're going to spend a few more minutes than usual, and we're going to spend most of it in a seated position. Any flat chair, like a dining room chair or level office chair will work. Notice the hand position on the back here, the palms on the back, or the back of the hands, the back of the fists on the back will work. For this first exercise, we're going to focus on our breathing into the back. So we're going to slow down our breath for our 10-second breath, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And we're going to, after we inhale, retain the breath, so pause breathing and rub or chafe the kidney area, the low back. So scrubbing with the palms or the back of the fists if your shoulders can't get the palms there. You chafe for a couple seconds and then you exhale. And then you inhale again. Rub while the breath is being held and then stop when you exhale. Continue on in this manner, slowly keeping your shoulders and head as upright as possible. And you'll notice this warms the body up greatly. It warms the lower back up. And today's focus is going to be to strengthen and warm the circulation in the lower body, especially the knees and legs. A lot of our movements are based on enlivening our legs, getting our legs active to draw power from the ground for things we do with our arms. But sometimes our legs are just so stiff and cold and tight and weak feeling that it's hard to really benefit from those exercises. Today will give us a chance to really invigorate our lower body. And this starts to blend in with some of the meditative practices in Qigong and Bagua. Now we've done several breaths. We've got our back warm. Just bring the hands to the knees. Feel the warmth of the hands soaking into the knees. And then we're going to staying seated, staying upright in our spine. Do right hand on the left knee and rotate the back. The left hand can brace on the chair seat behind you to help your body turn. And we're just gently twisting the spine. We're not over-rotating the neck or straining the neck and shoulders. We're just going to go side to side a few times here. And warm up rotation in the back. After sleep, we've been still for so long, a lot of our spinal muscles and back they're stiff, they're not used to moving, so we're going to bring a lot of warmth and blood flow there with our breathing exercise and then start to move the back in every which way. And then you'll notice the legs feel much more powerful and comfortable, and any other athletic thing you do or just living in your day-to-day will feel a lot better. Rotate to one side, lift your head tall, breathe. And now we'll bring the knuckles up to the temples and we're going to wake up the upper back muscles a bit. So lifting the head tall, inhaling the elbows back, exhaling the elbows to touch or near touching, pulling the chin and head back so our spine is very upright. Continue on, inhaling open, exhaling closed. Try not to let the shoulders hunch up near the ears. Keep the shoulder blades moving down even as the arms, elbows are lifted. So we'll keep breathing, continue on this way. You should feel the muscles between the shoulder blades working a bit. Now after we've warmed that area up, we're going to cross our arms, hinge forward at the hips, grab on opposite side of the outer knees or outer thighs. Anchor on with your hands and lift up at your waist to stretch that upper back. You should feel a little pulling across the upper back. You can take your hands higher or lower depending on what you need, or widen the legs if you need more of a stretch. All right, now we'll put our left hand anchored on the seat, right hand arches over, sitting up tall. We're side flexing the lower spine and stretching a bit the shoulders. Do a breath or two on each side and alternate back and forth. Keep alternating. Inhaling, lifting the top of the head long, keeping the seat anchored on the chair. Good. And we're going to lift the right knee up into the hand, push down firmly with the hand onto the knee. So we're using some of the hip flexor and the abdomen. Reach the left arm straight up. Try to straighten the elbow, reach the fingers up towards the sky. So activate the left shoulder and the right abdomen, right leg. A couple breaths there and then switch sides. Good. Now let's do something for the outer hips. This will affect the groin muscle as well. We'll cross an ankle over the opposite knee, and we're going to press that calf and thigh downwards. We can use the hands or the forearms. After you have them down where they'll go, start to lean forward. Hinging from the waist, how close can your belly come to that thigh, keeping your chest lifted. We're not collapsing the spine or curving it into a C shape. We're trying to keep it long, still reaching out of the top of the head. Yes. Keep breathing. Now we'll sit up, we'll grab the foot and we'll rotate the ankle around a few times both ways. Trying to do large smooth circles anywhere that's tight on the ankle. Anywhere that's not round, you want to kind of stretch the ankle in that area. And now we take the curved knuckles, the curled fingers, and we're going to chafe down that knee that was bent above the thigh, on the sides of the knee, down on the top of the calf. It should have a kind of a warming effect. It'll greatly help relax and loosen those tight ligaments around the knee. And we're going to swap sides and do the same thing. Pressing that knee away. Keeping the chest lifted. Leaning some of the weight into that leg, the bent leg, to stretch that knee down towards the ground. And we're still doing our full breaths here, so keeping the breath slow and deep, inhaling for 4 or 5, exhaling for 4 or 5. You'll feel the inhale lifts you up a bit and the exhale sinks you down a bit as your spine stays long. And just as before, we'll grab that foot and circle the ankle around. And just as before, we'll chafe with the knuckles all around the knee, the sides of the knee, the muscles above the knee, and the calf muscles on the lower part of the knee. Warming up all these areas. Good. Now our legs are pretty well warmed up. Let's widen the feet to double hip width. And we're going to reach long through the head, folding at the waist. You can have another chair here in front of you to reach down to, or you can put your hands on your knees or your shins or down to the ground. If you want to put an ottoman or a footstool in front of you or another chair as a support for your arms, we want to hinge forward at the hips and start to hang the upper body, but without overly rounding the spine. Breathe deeply here. Long, full breaths. And then we're going to take one hand to the midline. The other hand reaches up and we turn our shoulders and upper back. Now you may turn a foot or you may turn all the way up to vertical or further. Don't overstrain your neck. Don't over tighten your shoulder. Swapping sides. Try to press into the ground and think about reaching the fingers up towards the ceiling. Opening up the chest here. One more time on each side. And now we're going to interlace our fingers behind our head or do knuckles on the temple again. And just like before, we're going to side flex, but here with the arms bent, taking the elbow down towards the knee or towards our chair. Just back and forth. We're not holding here or just doing a simple motion down and up. All right, now we're going to use our chair as an arm support. Take your farther leg forward into a lunge. The back leg goes out straight behind us. And make a kickstand with your hand on the seat of the chair. Lifting the spine up tall, pushing down into the feet and the heels. Feeling the glute muscles engage. The legs are strong here. We're not just sagging into the legs. You should feel a stretch in the front of the back leg's thigh or hip. And then we'll swap sides. Taking the back leg as far back as you can safely with your balance. Keeping your torso upright. Making the legs very strong. And breathing deeply. Sit. Stay. Now if you have the balance here, go ahead and take the arms out to the side, reach the arms out wide. Trying to spread the collarbones, and then reach straight up. Trying to open the armpits, straighten the elbows. This is a very strong position. And now we'll come back to feet together, our knee circles. As we know, keep our chest and face facing forward. We circle the knees in a smooth circle, forward to back. We don't lock the legs all the way out when we come to straight, but just mostly straight. A few times one way, a few times the other. Last 2 minutes of it. Inhaling down, exhaling up. And then we'll go straight up and down, trying to bring the hips low down towards the heels. pressing into the heels to come up. Let's move our chair out of the way for our last movement, our Phoenix stretch. We should be really warmed up in the knees and the hips and the low back, so you'll feel more motion here than usual. All the weight on the back leg. It's easy to start to lean onto that front leg, but resist it. And hinging at the hips, trying to keep the back and head straight. A few breaths on one side and then switch. Still, our slow breathing lifts up the torso slightly. Exhaling folds us deeper in. Great work. We'll stand back up into our basic standing posture, feet hip width. And let's just rub the kidney area one last time. So palms back on the back. Here standing, we inhale, chafe the back area, long exhale, relax. One more time, full breath in. Chafing the back while we're holding the breath, and then exhaling. Brush down the back of the legs, up the front, and great work today. Let us know how you feel after doing this springtime kidney lower body warm-up. It benefits the knees. See you next time.